Well, hi everybody. Welcome to the Gypsy Moto Show. We're really glad you're here, and we had a great race this weekend, the Northwest Loretta Lynn's area qualifier, and we're going to talk about that tonight. We've got a few other things to talk about, got some updates. One thing I do want to update everybody on is we are going to cancel the Red Bone Seeker Hare Scramble race that we were going to do just due to fire danger. We were kind of waiting, hoping that we'd get more moisture out of this last storm, and we just didn't get it. And so, after going over and checking it and seeing where we're at, we had to pull the trigger and just go ahead and say, listen, we're going to cancel this thing. If we can reschedule it later in the year, we will, and we'll keep everybody updated on that, let you know what's going to happen. But enough of that. You guys got any thoughts about the race?
It was a blast. The track was perfect. You guys did a great job on the track. I mean, it was beautiful. And everything went, it seemed like really smoothly. We didn't have any hiccups or anything. And, we got everybody out of the gate quick. And, it didn't seem like there was a lot of lull in between the motos. It felt really good. But, yeah, I had a blast. Like I said, that was the closest race I ever had in my life. And it was so much fun. I mean, I am still just, thinking about it with a smile on my face. But great weekend, met a lot of really nice people from all over, sure. And a lot of talent showing up. The kids just blow me away. All those super minis and stuff, it's just crazy what they can do.
Oh yeah, a lot of fast people. And on the point you're talking about going pretty smooth, in 2 days we did 72 races plus all the 50 races, and it'd probably be another, what would it be? 6 times. So another 12 races there. So whatever that adds up to, that's a ton of races to get put on in 2 days. And we weren't making short motos either. Those were full motos. So, yeah.
It was a good weekend.
Yeah.
Tiring, but good.
A huge shout out to Scott Anderson, a non-club member, staying there with us till 3 a.m.
Wow.
And honestly, he's done it with us for several years now, but that guy put down hundreds of thousands of gallons of water, just for the love of the sport. I mean, I guess we're all doing it for the love of the sport, but it's pretty cool. A non-club member just jumping in there and just sticking it out till it's done and not going to leave us. So thank you, Scott.
Yeah, 100%. And he does, putting in the time, working hard the whole way, and he really knows what he's doing.
Right.
Right.
He understands the dirt. We don't have to tell him, this is what it needs to be, and he sees it, so that's awesome. So cool.
Yeah. And I made a comment to Vicky too, like his eyes leaving, it's like we'll kind of forget what it's like when things go wrong at the races. Like We've kind of had these smoother, and it's nothing's perfect, but it's pretty close. And it's kind of fun for me. I've been doing a few things with Sioux Valley here, and we just had a race and there's a little bit of hubbub. But to me, I also look at it like, yeah, I remember this. And it isn't that anything's so bad. It's everything's transitional. Right. But we kind of, even Sioux Valley each year is better than last year or whatever. But, it's kind of cool at Gypsies. It's been so long since we've had any kind of real problems at a race that you almost take it for granted. But then you look around and everybody's just doing their thing. And, it's fun to be a part of that. And also, more than ever, we have those people coming up to us and going, hey, thanks a lot. And that means a lot. I mean, we really appreciate that. So
that means so much. Then it's like, okay, now I remember why we're doing this and why we're not racing everybody else is. That makes it so much worth it. Lots of trial and error, lots of hours and hours and hours of planning. And I think a lot of times people think, why do they do it this way? Why? A lot of times tracks are, they're a track that's there for money. So they look at the racer as a customer. And we simply don't do that at all. If anything, we're all racers and we look at everybody else as athletes, and we hope to hold them to that same standard that we're at. And if they don't want to be there, it's like, I just don't want to be around you, and I don't want you around me, and I want you to never come back. If you want to be a person with a standard and a person that has is polite to other people, you're going to get that from us. If you're not, we just don't have time for you, and there's not an amount of money you could pay us to make it worthwhile to sit there and take it. So, we don't do the good cop, bad cop thing. We do the bad cop thing. That sounds kind of bad, but ultimately, the people that we've had there this weekend, for the most part, were just spectacular people, and they made it worthwhile. And from all the things that they don't see other tracks doing that we're doing, like impound, tech inspection, just having to say their names, be sure the right people are there, just all those checks that we're doing, those are things that aren't happening at other tracks. And sometimes I think people think, well, why are they doing it? And there is a reason that we're doing it, and we've thought it through, and we're doing it the most streamlined way that we know how at the time, and then we learn from those things and move on. So anyway,
it's funny you said about the people. My wife did the registration, and we were talking about it. It's so funny how much she's learned just by doing it. I'd say something, she'd go, no, that was in the pro sport, and she knows all the lingo now. Right. And I asked her, I said, so, anybody give you a hard time or anything? She goes, nope. She goes, everybody was so nice. And she said the Canadians were super nice people. And, but she said, man, I'm worn out. And I said, why are you so tired? And she goes, well, I was doing registration, and then the person that was supposed to be doing the posting went off and did something else. And she goes, and I kept seeing her go by on a four-wheeler. I was like, where's she going? At the end of almost every Moto. And she was going all the way out to put the postings up, and then she'd come back and do registration. She had a great time, and it's just fun how she is learning the sport, and we can actually discuss the sport, and she knows it. Like, I said something, she was like, no, they were in, many, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. So you know what that is? Yeah, I know what that is.
Right.
So it's fun, that's part of the whole Gypsy Moto family thing. It's just fun.
Right. Yeah. Really, when you sit back and you think about all the people and families and things that, I hate to say it like sacrifice, but the time that people have put in, like Aaron, for example, drive all the way from Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
And work all day, work all night, work all day, work all night, and then drive all the way back.
And race.
And then race. I mean, that's the love of the sport right there.
Yeah.
And just to try to keep
cool.
elevating that quality.
It is, and it is absolutely love of moto, but it's also like I like to be involved with things that are a success, and especially like you see that growth. And a bunch of those things you mentioned, like we have chain of command. There's a reason why we're doing things, and then we don't. The thing I really like too is we kind of have a policy, and we're able to make decisions fast, and then we do stick with it. And it may seem like we're harsh or whatever sometimes, but in the reality, what it is it's time. Like, we're not going to get off our planned schedule or our policy because of something that comes up. We're going to set a plan, we're going to do it, we have chain of command, and yet there's parts of it that are like a business, but parts of it, at the end, it's a club, and it's we're not making money, we're doing it for the love of it. In fact, it's costing us all a lot of money. Right. But then it's still for the benefit of everybody there, and I'll take, for example, we ran 3 practice rounds, and we could have stopped at 2, and by running the 3rd one, it pushed us. It's going to push us into the night, but people were having a good time. The track was great, so you made that call, and it's like, yeah, we're to the point. We're harsh, or not harsh. That's not the right term. We make decisions and do them, right, and we don't piss around with it. But it's not that we're taking anything away or being hard on people, because at the end of the day, the only reason we're doing this is for people to have a good time.
Right. And
then decisions are made to let them have more fun, and that's a great example. It's like, well, you made that decision because it benefited everybody there. Right. And the same thing was a quick decision, and we're doing it, and we all like, yep, we'll do this. So, and you definitely see a lot. I mean, I can think of examples at 3 other tracks, recently that were kind of the other way, where there's a wishy-washy decision and it makes up, then everybody's got to pay for it, and it's kind of
right. Yeah, and it's that thing where a guy came up to me and said, "Man, you guys," he goes, he's from Nebraska, and he goes, "I just want to tell you, I really appreciate the way that you guys do things here." And I said, "Oh, well, thank you." And he goes, "No, I'm serious." He goes, "Where I'm from, there's all kinds of griping and complaining, and people got opinions and back and forth at the writers' meeting, making suggestions and questions, and you guys don't even take any of that." And I was like, "Well, no, because we've been there, and if you go that route, then basically you have the inmates running the asylum." As sad as that sounds when I say that, not
good
that
analogy.
but and we love everybody, but you at the end of the day, you have to decide, here's what we're going to do. You either like it or you don't like it. You don't have to race, but that's how we're going to do it. And ultimately, it's for the benefit of everybody. And we're going to go and we're having a great time. And everybody needs to have a great attitude. And if you can have a great attitude, that just goes throughout the entire pit.